Alright everyone, welcome back again to more Muv-Luv Alternative. With a much more mentally fortified Shirogane at the helm of this part of the game so far. I think we're off to a pretty good start with how things are going to go from here on in. So we're going to see how it goes. If anything else, hope y'all continue to enjoy. Thank you again for your love and support. And let's carry on.
スミカさんの思い出壊したくないから自分で持ってます。
Gotcha. Well, that explains that. So you did get the image from Mr. Bun from her after all.
そうですけどよくわかりません。
Huh? What's that?
あなたの中に見えるもう一人の私。
Huh? Oh, well, that's just my memories of you from the previous timeline.
知ってます。でも私はウサさんが大好きです。
Yeah, you sure do.
でもあなたの中に見えるもう一人の私はウサさんを持っていない。
Huh? What do you mean?
考えすぎなんだと思います。だけど私は本当にそれがスミカさんの思い出なのかはわかりません。
I see, but you did start making him before you ever read my mind, right?
はい。
Okay then. That's good enough for me. In that case, I can at least be sure that Sumika had some sort of memory about rabbits. I don't remember Kasumi having Mr. Bun in the previous timeline either. But that might just be because we never shared a room.
そうかもしれません。ごめんなさい。はっきりしなくて。
Nah, don't apologize. It's not your...
あら、まだいたの？
Sensei. So, how's Sumika's progress looking?
いい傾向だとは言っても、さすがに日に何度もこれじゃ量子電動脳に負荷がかかりすぎるわね。
Huh? What do you mean several times a day?
朝から数えて今ので5回目の発作なのよ。
What? They happen even when I'm not here? So her reacting to Kasumi earlier wasn't totally out of the blue then.
そうよ。確実に変化している証拠ね。今のところあんたはちゃんと結果を積み重ねているわ。
It doesn't really feel that way personally. I'm not convinced that I'm actually helping Sumika at all. If anything, it just seems to be making her more and more unstable.
バイタルデータの統計と00ユニット。失礼。彼女の発言を見る限りその逆よ。
Speech patterns.
ベータに対する憎悪以外の言葉を口にするのはあんたがいる時だけよ。あんたがいなかった4回の発作ではベータへの憎悪だけなの。操縦訓練をするとピタッと収まるけど。
She did mention wanting a train when she first started to freak out. It's probably therapeutic to her in a sense.
とにかくあんたに任せてからは日々目覚ましい進展があるわ。この調子でやってちょうだい。
Understood.
今日はもうこのまま休止状態。ごめんなさい。寝かせるから上がっていいわよ。
You really don't need to rephrase everything like that. Just because I'm treating her like a human being doesn't mean you have to.
そう？これでも気を使ってるつもりなんだけど。
As long as you let me treat her like she's the real Sumika, that's good enough for me.
白がね。分かってるとは思うけど、あれは00ユニットなのよ。
Yes, I'm aware.
私は自分に都合がいい結果さえ出ればそれで構わないけど。
Look, I can't pretend I don't have feelings for her, but I'm not gonna let that get in the way of the mission, so don't worry.
そう、余計なことだったわね。
It's fine. After the way I behaved, it makes sense that you'd have your doubts. The only way I can regain her trust is to keep producing results. So I can't blame her for doubting me. After all, she's only skeptical because I've given her good reason to be.
じゃあ、また明日ね。
Oh, hang on a sec.
何？
There's something I wanted to ask you about, actually.
ヤシロのリーディング報告書ならまだだけど。
No, not that. I was wondering if you could help me get my hands on a particular kind of toy.
おもちゃみたいなもの？
Well, I was kind of hoping to give Tamika a Christmas present.
なるほど。ヤシロでもソースの特定はできないか。
But since Kasumi didn't read the image from me, that means it has to be from Sumika. Since Kasumi shares Sumika's memories and tastes, the fact that she's so smitten with that stuffed animal says a lot.
なるほど。
I think that giving Sumika a replacement Santa rabbit might evoke some really fond memories that she originally associated with it. I feel like that might be just what we need to break through all the sadness and hatred and get her to start feeling some positive emotions again.
あんたの言いたいことは理解できた。やってみる価値はあるわね。
Ideally, I'd want to give it to her on Christmas, but that wouldn't leave any time to reap the benefits prior to the practical assessment, so I think it'll be fine to give it to her beforehand.
まあ、それでも十分効果はあるでしょうけど、問題は別にあるわね。
And what's that?
ヤシロが言ってたことが、実は意外に大きいんじゃないかって思うのよ。
What do you mean?
さっき話してたわよね。鏡すみかの思い出を壊すから、似なかったぬいぐるみは自分で持ってるって。
Yeah.
鏡すみかと記憶や思考を共有しているヤシロがそう言ってるのよ。既製品で、しかもアメリカのセンスで作られたものがそのイメージと一致すると思う？
Oh, good point.
だとしたらあんたが作るしかない。
Huh? You expect me to make a rabbit keychain by hand?
そう。あんたが自分で思いを込めて作ったものならイメージのギャップはクリアできるはずよ。
Still, I don't even remember exactly what it looked like. Oh, wait. I can just get Kasumi to show me, huh?
それにね、00ユニットはそのプレゼントを受け取ったとき、あんたをリーディングするでしょうね。
Right, Tamika has that ability too. I forgot.
白金が持っているそのプレゼントに関する記憶をあんたが関連づけてる限り読み取る。
Huh?
だから人に用意してもらったとかじゃなく、あんたが心を込めて一生懸命作ったという記憶も一緒に渡すことになる。
Gotcha. Yeah, that does sound like a good idea.
材料だけはこっちで用意するわ。必要なものを言ってちょうだい。
No, I think I'll try to find them myself. It'll probably be more meaningful that way. I'll just need your help getting the more specific stuff, like the clasp and whatnot.
わかったわ。
Oh, God, it's freezing out there. The only material I can get in this world that's easy to work with is probably wood. Well, my ears are about to fall off, but at least I didn't come back empty-handed. This was a great idea if I do say so myself. I gathered up a bunch of branches from the infamous tree on the hill behind the school. I've heard it's hard to work with live bark, so I just nabbed up the biggest branches that were scattered around it. This way, it'll even have some memories of my world Tamika attached to it. It's flawless, I tell you. I can reinforce the parts that need to be extra sturdy with a wireframe, and then attach the wood using emergency armor repair putty. It hardens really fast, but not so hard I can't cut it with a knife. I managed to get my hands on some sandpaper from the hangar, and I can just use the knife in my survival kit. As for coloring, well, I'll just ask the mechanics for some paint once I'm done. They probably don't have any pink, so I'll have to mix some myself. I'm just gonna recreate the image Kasumi projected to me, so it all depends on my craftsmanship skills. Man, never thought all that modding I did on toy cars as a kid would come in handy someday. That being said, modding stuff and making things from scratch are two completely different beasts. The fact that Kasumi couldn't get it right just puts more pressure on me. Well, I'm just gonna have to make it happen after all. I've got plenty of branches to work with, if at first I don't succeed, and all that. I got missions at dawn tomorrow, so if I cut my sleeping time to 2 hours, I'll have 5 to work on this. I've gotta finish this thing and get Sumika back to normal ASAP. Man, she's gonna love this gift, I just know it. I know I told Yuko-sensei I'm not gonna let my feelings get in the way of the mission, but honestly, it's hard to completely detach myself. Of course, this is gonna help lead to humanity's victory and my chance to restore order to the timelines. That much I'm sure of. Getting Sumika back to normal is the first step on that road. I have to do this. It's the only way she'll ever be able to function properly as the 00 unit and keep the alternative 5 supporters at bay. The only question is whether I can get her working well enough to change the skeptics' minds. If I can't convince everyone that she's our best shot at salvation, then I might really have to get my hands dirty. If it comes to that, will I be able to face up to the consequences as bravely as Her Highness did? Possibly. Let's hope it doesn't come to that yet.
317飛行隊をレーダーに捕捉。定刻通りです。
C5輸送機が6機。数は合っている。カッキー、気を抜くなよ。
Nothing suspicious in the thermal scan. 3 heat sources in the cockpit, and 4 in the wings. Those must be the engines. Each plane has 7 heat sources, and there's nothing in any of the cargo bays. All clear then. Even if something did go wrong, we're all on high alert, so we'd be able to respond in a blink of an eye. Hell, even if there was some kind of mistake and the beta popped out of those containers, it wouldn't be anything like the disaster from before. We got a fully armed tactical armored battalion. We could easily deal with 6 transport containers worth of beta. Though all I can do is back them up in an armored vehicle, because I broke my Fubuki. This is probably the kind of vigilante attitude Yuko Sensei was trying to create on Yokohama base. I don't 100% agree with everything she did, but I have to admit she gets results. Everyone on the base has a much deeper sense of solidarity now. No one content to rest on their laurels anymore, just because the IJF stands between us and the beta. And just as Sensei had hoped, all the American sympathizers and the starry-eyed optimists have been dismissed from the base's top brass. Now their positions are being filled by battle-hardened UN military generals from every front. With the 00 unit complete and some sort of huge operation no doubt on the horizon, they were probably worried it all might get sabotaged.
後ろがね、94式の到着がぼーっとするほど嬉しいのか?
Ah, crap. Yes, Captain. I'm very excited.
だったらしっかり警戒することだな。装甲車の重機関銃でもソルジャー級やウォーリアー級の相手ぐらいはできるぞ。
Roger. Inside those 6 containers are the Shiranuis we'll be using from now on. Genuine, bona fide, combat grade TSFs. Sergeant Jingoji, I hope you're watching. I'm gonna do it. I'll avenge you, I promise.
317飛行隊1番機着陸態勢に移行。
バルキリー1より各機 IFF 解除。自動照準で標的を追尾。セーフティーはまだ外すなよ。
These are our Shiranuis. I've seen tons of them before in other units, but after losing my Fubuki, this is a pretty emotional moment for me. You know, I still remember the day our Fubukis came in. I was so excited I couldn't sleep the night before. But I'm not as naive as I was back then. This time around, I'm feeling a whole slew of emotions. There's a sense of accomplishment and elation, but also feelings of emptiness and futility.
タケル
Oh, hey, there you are.
装甲車での警戒任務ご苦労であったな。どうだ警戒中にほうけるほど待ち焦がれた機体は。
Oh, please, don't act like you're not totally stoked yourself.
そうだな。ようやくこれで本当に部隊の一員となれた気がする。
Their shipment was delayed, so the rest of the gang had to train in the Fubukis for a while. Not only were they the newbies, but they were vastly inferior TSFs. It must have been hard to coordinate with the rest of the unit. So you're all done turning over your Fubukis? Nice. How's it feel?
今まで共に歩んできたのだ。思うところはある。
Yeah.
良い機体であった。
Yeah, I know the feeling. After getting used to the Gekishin in the previous timeline, going back to the Fubuki in this one felt pretty nostalgic. Maintenance training, basic movement training, all our mock battles, not to mention the coup d'etat and the XM3 trials. We went through a lot with those babies. They're also what I was using back when Tama shot down the HSSST and during the volcano evacuation effort.
そなたにこれを渡そうと思ってな。そなたは帰ってくるなり特殊任務であったのでな。私そびれていたのだ。
This is the control stick from the Type 92 control unit, isn't it?
そなたの吹雪が解体された時に整備班長に外しておいていただいたのだ。
Huh? But this is military property. You can't get away with that, can you? I can't believe you'd break the rules over this, or that the chief mechanic would agree to it.
私たちはユニットを丸ごと白縫いに換装するからコックピット自体は何も変わらんが、そなたの機体の完成ユニットは新品なのであろう。
Yeah, that's right.
持っているがよい。お守りとするか戒めとするかはそなた次第だ。
Thanks, I appreciate it.
整備班長も二度とそなたが機体を壊さないのであればと喜んで共犯者となってくださったぞ。
You did, huh?
後で礼を言うがよいぞ。こっそりとな。
Yeah, I will. And I'll promise not to break my Shiranui too.
そう願いたいわね。
Sensei.
みつるに敬礼はやめてって言ってるでしょ。
失礼しました。
Don't see you around here that often.
今日の搬入の警備体制を視察するために第二管制塔にいたからね。帰りがてら寄ったのよ。
Huh? But why?
決まってるでしょ。保護用のビニールを破くためよ。
What?
あんたの機体だけ完成ユニットが新品でしょ。私に破かせなさい。
Oh yeah, I kind of remember hearing that she loves unpacking new TSF parts.
ここのところ帝国軍のお偉方の接待構成やら会議やらばっかりでね。ストレス溜まってるのよ。
Uh-huh. Sounds pretty rough. She did say she had a bunch of minor business to take care of, though I'm sure she's not telling me everything.
あ、そうそう。あんたは今日このまま訓練に参加しなさいね。こっちは夜で大丈夫だから。
Huh? I can't do that if I don't have a TSF. There's no way they could have my Shiranui ready that quickly.
甘く見てもらっちゃ困るわね。なんで搬入が今日までかかったと思ってるの？
Wasn't it because of the beta ambush?
横浜基地の混乱を予想して向こうで整備を終わらせてから搬入させたのよ。だから時間がかかったの。
Oh, so that's what happened. Right. I guess it wouldn't really make sense for it to be a result of the beta attack since she's the one who orchestrated that. Still, I'm surprised she'd hint so heavily at her involvement in front of other people, even if nobody around here would dare to take her to task on it.
完成ユニットの完装がない分、あんたの機体は午後には使えるわよ。エクセム3も搭載されてるわ。
What?
強化装備に残っていない制御ログはあんたの練習機から移しておいたから感謝しなさい。
Really? Thank you so much. This is awesome. It'll feel just like piloting my old one then.
では私たちも午後から白縫いを使えるのでしょうか。
完成ユニットの完装はいくら急いでも夕方になるわね。 OS も最新バージョンにしなきゃならないし。
吹雪は先ほど返納してしまいましたが。
でもいすみは大丈夫だって言ってたわよ。訓練に支障はないって。
Huh?
よくわからないけどいすみたちが別の機体に乗ってあんたたち新人を白縫いに乗せるみたいなこと言ってたわよ。
So they're gonna let Mei and the others borrow their TSFs basically?
強化装備側でデータを持っているんだからそれは問題ないはずだけど。
Yeah, adjusting the seat only takes like 5 minutes. I'm more worried about whether or not they can handle the pressure. They'd be in deep shit if they accidentally totaled one of those
と
TSFs.
いうわけで機体の問題はクリア。とにかく訓練には参加しなさい。わかった？
Got it.
頑張ってね。うん。シートのビニール破いとくから。
Knock yourself out.
じゃあね。
私たちも行こう。ブリーフィング前に朝食を済ませなければな。
Yeah, let's get out of here.
明日の訓練でやっと94式が前期揃うわけだが、その前に新入りどもの完熟訓練を行っておく。機動特性や出力の違いは シミュレーターで認識できてると思うが、やはり実機とは違うからな。したがって本日の演習は市街地での模擬戦闘だ。
来た。
Whoa, Lieutenant Hayase is really getting into this.
なんだ早瀬、新人いびりが楽しみでしょうがないのか。
嫌ですよ大尉。愛の無知です。愛の無知。
そうか、最初が肝心だ。思いっきりやれ。
そうやそう。
You'd think a Storm Vanguard 1 would be a little more, mature.
大尉、私たちはどうすればいいんですか？吹雪はもうありませんし、白縫いは完成ユニットの乾燥作業中です。
心配するな。今回はダクトとする。専任士官は全員激震で訓練に臨む。貴様たちは私たちの機体に乗れ。
Wait, so the other TSF sensei was talking about were Gekishins. I thought they'd at least be using eagles or something.
なんだ早瀬、鈴宮、不満なのか？
すみません。不満はないですけど、せっかく同じ条件で腕試しできると思ってたので。
大尉、早瀬中尉は白金との対決を心待ちにしてたんですよ。
Yikes. She has it out for me already?
白金の驚異的なデータを見せつけられて、ストームヴァンガード1としては黙っちゃいられないってわけか？
訓練兵の時のデータなんてどうでもいいんです。ただ昨日のシミュレーター実習の結果が本物かどうか試したいだけですよ。
なるほど。初めて中階層を突破することができたのに、複雑な顔をしていたのはそういうわけだったのか。
別に私は。
新入りどもが初めての配部戦実習で好成績だったっていうのが、中尉は内心面白くないんですよ。
宗方、あんたはいちいち。
早瀬中尉はあなたを認めているってことだから気にしないのよ。
Okay.
そうそう、注意はすぐムキになるからね。茜なんか。
聞こえたわよ柏木。
Gee, she's scary as hell.
楽しいおしゃべりはそこまでだ。とにかく中隊の戦力増強は喜ばしいことだ。まだ詳細は言えないが、近々大規模な作戦が展開される予定だ。
I knew it.
その作戦に間に合わせる意味でも、部隊連携や艦軸訓練は効率的に行いたい。よって本日の模擬戦は新入りをより早く機体に慣れさせることもそうだが、我々も94式の優秀性を再確認するには絶好の機会である。普段当たり前だと思っている軌道が貴様たちの腕なのか、それとも機体性能のおかげなのかを認識するんだ。機体の性能が高いに越したことはない。だが最後は腕がものを言う。腕とは操縦技能と柔軟な発想により機体性能を十二分に引き出す能力を指す。昨日の実習データを見ればわかるが、高性能機に乗り換えた新人どもの伸び幅が専任のそれに肉薄している。この事実からも専任どもがこのタイミングで機動特性の異なる機体に登場しておく意義は大きい。分かったな。
了解。
そして新人どもにも言っておく。確かに激震は基本設計こそ第一世代の旧式機だが、本日使う機体は最新型のブロック215、つまり XM3 搭載機だ。舐めてかかると痛い目に遭うぞ。いいな。
了解。
編成を発表する。アルファ隊、早瀬以下、宗像、鎧、白金、綾峰、 三剣。コマンドポストは鈴宮注意。
Well, it looks like I won't have to worry about being singled out by Lieutenant Hayes at this time. Wait, she wouldn't, like, shoot a teammate in the back, would she?
ブラボー隊、いすみ以下、風間、鈴宮、柏木、玉瀬、榊。コマンドポストはピアテフ注意とする。
First Lieutenant Piakt. She's Yuko-sensei's personal secretary, right? So she can do battle logistics too. Well, I guess that makes sense given that she works in command center.
各機の装備および配置は昨日のシミュレーター実習と同じとする。また今回はより実戦に近い状況を想定するためジャイブスを使用する。
Jives.
ジャイブスとは戦術機の各種センサーとデータリンクを利用し実戦と同じ損害判定を可能とした統合仮想情報演習システムだ。簡単に言えば実機を動かしながらシミュレーター演習をするようなものだが、システムが再現するのは兵装と損害に関わる情報だ。例えば砲弾消費による重量変化、障害物の有無、障害物の強度と破壊、着弾や破片による被害判定及び損害箇所など攻撃によるあらゆる物理現象がシミュレートされる。その際はシミュレーター同様着弾や誘導弾の爆発などの衝撃も強化装備からのフィードバックによって再現されるわけだ。当然火器だけではなく超等で毛さ切りにされればセンサーの起動から被害箇所とダメージが即座に判定されるぞ。したがってペイント弾での演習のように障害物に身を隠し続ける策はもはや安全ではない。そういった実戦ではありえない状況は完全に排除される。大雑把で曖昧な結果は絶対に出ないシステムなんだ。断っておくがこれは非常に高価なおもちゃだ。壊したらただじゃおかないからな。
I get it now. The only reason actual combat units don't use the simulators all that often is because they use this instead.
演習の開始予定は1330。場所は第2演習場東。
So we got 4 more hours. There's plenty of time to come up with a game plan.
整備作業の遅延により開始時間の変更がある場合は事前に伝える。以上、解散。
敬礼。
よし、ブラボー隊ついてこい。作戦立案会議とシャレ込もう。
了解。
Suzumiya, what is it? Come on, quit giving me the stink eye.
絶対負けないから。
Damn, she's pretty intimidating in this world.
じゃあ私たちは PX に行きましょう。
了解。
Roger.
おばちゃん、合成宇治茶4人分とコーヒーもどき2つ、あとラムネ1本ちょうだい。
昼の仕込みで忙しいんだよ。ちょっと待ってな。
注意に怒られちゃうよ。
注意ってみつきちゃんだろ。怒ったら私に言いつけるっていいな。
That's telling her, Kyozuka.
そんな。たける、僕注意に遅くなることを伝えてくるね。鎧。
Hey. And she's gone. Eesh. I don't get why she's in such a rush. We got plenty of time. Well, whatever. I gotta focus on recon right now. This might be my only chance. I went out of my way to stop Aimina if I'm going back to get her drink so that I could get away from the pack and talk to Maya. Can't let this time go to waste. Hey, Maya.
なんだ。
How good is our squadron? In terms of combat, I mean.
なんだいきなり。しかも質問が漠然としすぎているぞ。
Well, I mean, I still haven't done any mock battles with the rest of them, you know? so I don't know what our teammates' strengths and weaknesses are. So I was hoping you could give me the rundown based on your impressions from training with them in the Fubukis.
なるほどな。そういう意味であれば全員かなり手強いぞ。
Yeah, no surprise there.
そなたも聞いたであろうが、この部隊は私たちとほぼ同時期にそなたの OS を導入している。その意味でのアドバンテージはない。
Yeah, I did hear that.
その上、実戦経験豊富な士官が4名。機体も高性能とくれば、その差は歴然であろう。もし今日の模擬戦が新任対専任という編成であったなら、私たちが勝てる見込みはなかったであろうな。
Damn, coming from you, that sounds all the more intimidating.
私も綾峰もドッグファイトで早瀬中尉に一度も勝てていないのだ。それどころか期待にかすらせることすらかなわん。
You're kidding, right? Not a single hit? I could tell Lieutenant Hayase was pretty talented from yesterday's simulator training, but I never would have guessed she was that much better than Mei or Aimine. Do you think it would have been different if you had your Shinuis instead of Fubukis?
おそらく結果は同じであろう。ただし、それは今のところの話であるがな。
Oh yeah?
私とていつまでも中尉の後陣を排するつもりはない。
That's a great attitude to have. That's the spirit.
故に今日の大尉の計らいは喜ばしいことだ。一日でも早く白縫いになれたいからな。
Makes sense.
それにそなたの奇怪な軌道を目の当たりにしている私には、仙人たちのそれはさして驚くべきものではなかったからな。
I'll take that as a compliment.
思い上がるわけではないが、昨日のシミュレーター実習の結果を鑑みても、一矢報いる日はそう遠くないであろう。
Yeah, I know we can do it, no doubt about that. You gotta keep that mentality going. I don't want to be held back by my emotions anymore. Though, we really can't let Lieutenant Hayase hear us talking like this.
何何？何の話？
What the hell, Mikoto? Don't scare me like that. Sheesh.
タケルが作戦会議の前に専任者たちの技能を知っておきたいのだそうだ。
ああ、そういう話か。
I mean, there's no real point in me taking part in a strategy meeting if I don't know the first thing about them.
それもそうだね。
Come on, help me out here. Tell me everything you can about Bravo team members. I don't care what.
僕と同じブラストガードの風間少尉はものすごく冷静な人だよ。標的脅威度の格付けも的確でとっても素早いんだ。
Huh. Sounds like my impressions was pretty spot on. Her soft disposition definitely made her seem like the most mature one of the bunch.
狙撃特性もかなり高いし、ドッグファイトに持ち込むのは至難の技だと思うよ。
Oh, I can definitely see that. Even if we could, I doubt she'd be a pushover in close quarters either. What about Kashiwagi? She's an impact guard, right?
うん、ミキさんと同じだね。訓練部隊の時は狙撃のナンバー2だったから、インパクトガードは順当なポジションだと思う。
あの者は広い戦術的視野を持っている優秀な兵士だ。狙撃特性において玉瀬には及ばないが、その比較はあまり意味がないであろう。
Well, that's more of a testament to Tama's skill than anything. I mean, she shot down a freaking HSST in the previous timeline. Wouldn't be fair to hold Kashiwagi to those standards.
射撃精度ではミキさん、状況判断では春子さんってとこかな。
戦況を的確に判断し、敵を狙撃することでストームヴァンガードの動くスペースを確保するのがインパクトガードだ。それを担う者がアルファ隊に一人もいないというのは条件としてはかなり厳しいぞ。
Yeah, good point. That could definitely pose a problem. We all specialize in mid-range and close quarters combat. I remember having to deal with a similar scenario back in the training academy too. Do they put us in these kinds of situations on purpose? In the previous timeline, we won the mock battle through sheer force of will, while in this one, it was all thanks to the new OS. But now, we're going head to head with actual commissioned soldiers. Luckily, we have more Shiranews on our side, but with the second lieutenants Kazuma and Kashiwagi on the other team, who knows if we'll even get close to them. I'm starting to feel like we're boned here, so how does the captain stack up? Pretty sure I already know the answer to this one.
いすみ大尉はさすがサイコさんだけあってあらゆる面において隙がない。
Yep.
ガンインターセプターライトは中隊長のポジションであるゆえ致し方ないが、いずれのポジションでも高い能力を発揮するに違いない。
Damn it, those jack of all trade types are always the most annoying to deal with. She's really a hard worker, perfectionist even. I bet she's been obsessively polishing her skills for years.
これは試験だが、榊が実践経験と精神修練を積んだ果てには大尉のような英士になると思う。
なるほどね。
Yeah, I can see that. It's not really a fair comparison right now, of course. They both approach things from a pretty logical perspective, but the captain's better at keeping an open mind and staying cool under pressure. When perfectionists like that learn how to deal with adversity, it makes them way more formidable. And in that respect, I think the captain's probably a bit more savvy than Class Rep is at the moment. I can't imagine she'd have lasted very long as Yuko Sensei's subordinate otherwise. Alright, what about Suzumiya?
茜さんはドッグファイト能力が秀でてるね。すごく思い切りがいいよ。ちょっと無鉄砲な感じではあるけど。
大尉や中尉たちと比較するのは気の毒ではあるが、やはり経験が少ない分ムラが多いな。
Yeah, I remember Lieutenant Hayase mentioning that she tends to be pretty reckless. But that's also because she idolizes Lieutenant Hayase so much and feels like she needs to work twice as hard to succeed where her older sister failed.
うん。タケルの紹介の時、大尉が言ってたでしょ。最近の任務で戦死した人のこと。
Huh? Yeah, I remember. Just over the course of the coup d'etat and the XM3 trial, Unit A01 suffered 2 deaths and lost another member due to serious injuries.
あれ、207A 分隊の人たちなんだ。
Huh?
おそらく鈴宮はその者たちへの思いに駆り立てられているのであろうな。
茜さん、A 分隊の隊長だったからね。
Oh god, I had no idea. She definitely got a lot on her shoulders.
それが鈴宮の無鉄砲さや村の多さにつながっているのであろう。
Sergeant Jinguji's death must be weighing on her too, and yet she still tries to hide it all behind that bubbly facade.
特性的にはストームヴァンガード向きの鈴宮がガンスイーパーに置かれているのはそのあたりを大尉が懸念しているからであろうな。
Though if you really think about it, Tsusumiya is not the only one struggling with that guilt. I guarantee Mei and the others are too. They must have been informed that their old squad mates from 207A died in battle shortly after I left for the other world, while they were still reeling from what happened to the sergeant. On top of that, Class Rap's dad died. Mikoto still has no clue where her chief Yoroi is. Even Ayamine lost someone very close to her, whether he was actually her ex-lover or not. God, I've been such a baby. I'm so ashamed I can't even believe it took me so long to even realize this. You guys really are incredible. I want to hold myself up to those same standards. So I'll never force my problems off on someone else ever again. I promise. I'll force myself to act bright and cheerful, even if my real emotions are plain as day. If I can't even do that much, I have no right to call myself a surface pilot.
だから茜さん、メイヤさんやケイさんに露骨にライバル意識向けてるもんね。
Oh, interesting. So it's not just me she has it out for.
結構はっきり口に出す人だからね、茜さんって。
だが鈴宮の言葉には邪気がないゆえ、こちらも張り合いがあるというものだ。
Yeah, for sure. She never sounds straight up antagonizing or anything.
でも今日のブリーフィング中はずっとタケルを睨んでたね。
Huh? Nah, you must have been seeing things. That being said, the last thing she said to me before walking away did sound a bit more than a friendly challenge. Maybe she's just intense about this stuff. I can definitely understand that given what happened to her sister, and the fact that she's probably even seen her share of bloodshed.
ストームヴァンガード1である早瀬中尉がタケルを強く意識しているのだ。B 小隊入りを望んでいる鈴宮にとってそれは面白くなかろう。
そうか、早瀬中尉にも目をつけられているし、タケルは人気者だね。
You're joking, right? Either that or you just weren't listening. Thanks, guys. I feel like I've got a good idea of what we're up against now. How about our team?
宗像中尉はかっこいいよね。
What?
中性的っていうか美少年的っていうか憧れちゃうよね。
Well, I was more so asking skill-wise about their... I mean, yeah, sure, okay. That's not exactly what I was asking. Though, I can definitely see how she might be popular with the ladies. Wait, did she say she was down for anything as long as it feels good? I know the UN is pretty chill with sexual conduct among frontline soldiers, since it helps boost morale and all, but are they that liberal about gender too? If she says anything goes, then maybe she actually is into some adventure stuff. I still have a hard time telling whether she's joking or not a lot of the time. I mean, what she said to Lieutenant Hayase earlier was obviously teasing, but I feel like she just likes to play devil's advocate sometimes.
男の子っぽくってかっこいいんだけど、何考えてるかわからない人ではあるかな。
Says the queen of incoherent trains of thought.
確かにひょうひょうとしてはいるが、ガンインターセプターレフトを任されている我が部隊のナンバー3だ。実力も相当だぞ。
Yeah, wouldn't want to overlook that. I did catch myself thinking yesterday that Lieutenant Munakata might be better at commanding a unit than Lieutenant Hayase. But I can totally see Hayase turning down a promotion like that anyway, just because she likes being a Storm Vanguard so much.
はいよ、お待たせ。
Food's ready.
合成宇治茶4つにコーヒーもどき2つ、ラムネ1本。これでいいんだろ。
おばあちゃん遅いよ。
なんだい、みつきちゃん怒ってたのかい？
文句があるなら来いっておばちゃんが言ってますって伝えたら何も言われなかったよ。
I'm pretty sure that's not quite what she told you to say.
そうかいそうか。よかったね。みつきちゃんの弱みはたくさん握ってるから、知りたかったらいつでもおいで。
I don't want to die just yet, thanks.
ほら、みつきちゃん睨んでるから、とっとと持っていきな。
Oh crap. I've got the bowls and teapot, you get the rest.
あ、タケル。
頑張んなよ。
皆さん聞いてください。
そんなひそひそ話さなくても大丈夫でしょ。ここには大尉たちいないんだから。
あ、そうね。じゃあ作戦立案会議を始めましょうか。
You know, for as serious as First Lieutenant Suzumiya gets when she's doing battle logistics, she sure is soft-spoken most of the time.
じゃあまずはじめに新入りたちの策を聞こうじゃない。誰からでもいいわよ。
え、僕たちからですか、注意。
そうよ。大尉も言ってたけど、これは新入りたちの完熟が主な目的。主役はあんたたちじゃない。張り切ってどうぞ。
まずアルファ隊の戦力から判断するとスタンドオフ戦術を取ることは確実です。こちらの部隊戦力では勝つためには攻撃に出るしかないと考えられますので。
She's right about that. Since they can easily pick us off from afar, we gotta find a way to get in close.
予想される布陣は最後方に風間少尉、その左右手前に 柏木少尉と玉瀬少尉。柏木少尉と玉瀬少尉の前にそれぞれ鈴宮少尉と榊少尉。
Suzumiya in front of Tama, class rep in front of Kashiwagi. Yep, that's a pretty solid plan.
なるほど。こちらの機動力には付き合わないってことか。教科書通りの防御的布陣だな。で、大尉はどこへ？
Actually, yeah. That really is straight out of a textbook. It'd be surprising if they came at us with something so predictable.
それなんですが、短期遊撃で僕を潰しに来るのか、狙撃手の直縁かで迷います。
で、結局どっちなのよ。
In information like this, I get the feeling the captain would choose to support Lieutenant Kazuma. If it were Lieutenant Hayase we were talking about, she'd definitely go in for an ambush. But a perfectionist like the captain would probably want to maintain a flawless formation if she went with a defense like this.
そうですね。やはり迂回を警戒して風間少尉の後ろです。
Oh-ho, so she'd harden up their defenses, huh?
風間が誘導弾を使い切ったら、大尉と二人で後方を固めて狙撃チームを前後から守るというわけか。
その通りです。
じゃあ闇ね、お前は？
はい、大尉と榊、鈴宮が石膏で前面で動き回り、一定距離を維持しながら風間少尉と玉瀬、柏木が後方支援。石膏が交戦し、位置を特定し、その上で長距離攻撃という連携を考えます。敵の第一目標は鎧、第二目標は早瀬中尉、第三目標は宗像中尉です。
鎧とは逆に構成が高いプランね。
You can say that again, but it's just like I mean it.
よし、じゃあ三剣。
はい、敵の優先撃破目標は綾峰と同意見です。ですが戦域が市街地ということを考えると、玉瀬、柏木の狙撃特性を活かせるポイントは限られます。故にこの2機はおとりとして全面配備、振動、音源で大まかな位置をつかむと同時に遠距離から威嚇攻撃を開始。あえて自分の位置を晒し、私たちに攻撃させることで各機の位置を特定。そして風間少尉によるメイン圧を加え、こちらのストームヴァンガードの数を減じた後は優先順に目標をしらみつぶしにすると考えます。
なるほどね。
So they'll use their own snipers as bait and have Lieutenant Kazuma start picking us off. Yeah, that's another valid plan too.
綾峰三剣揃って構成戦術とは、ストームヴァンガード候補だけのことはあるね。
白金、あんたは？
Oh. Alright, an offensive formation obviously, a tough defensive formation, both defensive and offensive tactics. There's no point deliberating over this. I'm going for 3. First, the Captain Sakaki and Tsuzumiya will do recon to rile up the front. I give it Ayamina on that part. But I'm thinking that Kashiwagi, Tamase, and Lieutenant Kazuma are each going to operate independently. They won't be completely separated from the others though. I'm guessing they'll stay within a certain radius of the recon units. This lowers the risk of their support units all being spotted at the same time and allows each of them to focus on helping the recon units fulfill their duties.
攻撃的布陣ではあるが、積極防御も両立させているというわけか。
Right, so basically I agree with Meiya and Ayamina in that we have no choice but to go on the offensive. If we end up fighting a defensive battle, we'll just keep butting heads with other recon units until they pick us off one by one from long range. While it would make the most sense for the captain's team to use low-risk defensive strategy, I'm thinking they'll try something more unorthodox like this to limit our options.
よくわかった。それじゃあここで確認しておくけど、この訓練の目的は一体何だった？
僕たちが早く機体になれるためと、専任の人たちが白縫いの性能を再確認するためです。
その通り。じゃあ何のためにそんなことやってるかわかるわよね。
It's so we can protect the 00 unit, right? But I can't say that yet. Is she about to drop that bomb on us?
A01 部隊の使命を果たすためです。
もうちょっと具体的に。
人類の勝利に貢献するためです。
ちょっと先に行き過ぎ。
ベータと戦うためです。
正解。部隊の訓練はすべてあんたたちがベータと戦っても生き残れるようにするためにやってるのよ。
Oh, so that's what she meant. She wasn't talking about the 00 unit at all.
では質問。大尉がアルファ隊とブラボー隊を今みたいな編成にした理由、わかる者いる？
Well, the main point of the exercise is to give us a feel for how the Shiranui handles, but if that were the only reason, she would have balanced the teams out more equally. Maybe it's like what Sergeant Jingoji did with Class Rep and Aimine, and she's trying to improve my relationship with Lieutenant Hayase or help Suzumiya come to terms with things. Nah, that can't be it. The captain wouldn't let our personal problems affect our training.
お前ら黙ってないで。わからないならわからないと言え。
わかりません。
I don't know.
鈴宮中尉、どうしたんですか？
急に大きい声出すからびっくりしちゃって。
はあ、驚かせて申し訳ありません。
いいのよ、宗像中尉。
Man, First Lieutenant Suzumiya, so...
あんたたちがベータと戦って生き残るってすごいヒントだったんだけどね。
白金、我々が戦うブラボー隊最大の戦術的特徴を言ってみろ。
Well, they're better at long-range battles, so probably in a standoff.
同じくアルファ隊は
We're better in close quarters, so probably a brute force offensive.
その通り。つまりアルファ隊にとってこの模擬戦は背部突撃前、つまりレーザー級の存在が想定される状況なんだ。逆にブラボー隊にとっては同じく背部突撃前、デストロイヤー級が存在する戦いを想定した模擬戦なんだ。
Gotcha, so that's why we're split up like this. They're trying to get us used to those kinds of situations. That must be why they did it to us when we were cadets too. So it wasn't just to force Ayumina and Class Rep to start getting along then.
私たちが訓練する目的はベータと戦うため。だとすれば人間相手の訓練でああだこうだ考えて勝ってもしょうがないのよ。
人間相手の模擬戦でいくら優秀な戦績を上げようが実戦では全く当てにならない。ベータの思考は人間とは全く違うからね。
Right, I totally forgot. They told me that when I got commissioned the previous timeline actually. I remember thinking about it during the XM3 trials too.
だからこそこの設定であんたたちに完熟をやらせるの。そしてどんな状況変化にも対処できる連携を学ぶのよ。
So it's basically the same reason we do simulated hive infiltrations. Man, I was totally missing the forest for the trees here.
人類を守るとか地球を守るとか遠くの大きな目標を見据えるのは大変結構だけど足元もちゃんと見ることね。
訓練だけじゃなくて個別の目的や要求を明確に意識しないと何をやっても時間の無駄になるから気をつけてね。
はい。
Yes, ma'am. They're absolutely right. I've been way too focused on the big picture to focus on any of the comparatively minor details.
さて意識の統一もできたところで連携の確認よ。こっちの配置考えるわよ。
はい。
Ma'am.
言っておくけどあんたたち負けたらどうなるか分かってるでしょうね。
Huh?
でも注意、 さっき人間相手に勝っても実戦では関係ないって。
勝っても負けても結果が同じなら勝つのよ。その方が絶対いいの。
はあ。
I should have known Lieutenant Hayase would be like this. Though I guess anyone who stormed Vanguard 1 would probably want to be the alpha dog.
確かにな。
Oh, great. Not you too.
いや、敗北から教訓を導き出すことは容易であるがゆえに、人は往々にしてその行為で満足してしまうものだ。
Yikes, that hit's a little too close to home.
実際にその教訓を生かすことは言われているほどたやすくはないぞ。
Yeah, she got that right. I can attest to it firsthand.
だが、勝利から得るものはそれを謙虚に受け止めさえすれば、さらなる成功につなげやすいものだ。
三剣、あんたなかなかいいこと言うわね。気に入ったわ。
ありがとうございます。
Maya, I don't think Lieutenant Hayase is the kind of person you want to be buddying up with.
シロがね、聞こえたわよ。
Ugh.
あんたはそうね。単独決行決定。
Wait, what? All by myself? She's setting me up to be the bait.
撃墜されたら食事2回抜くわよ。いいわね。
But they've got snipers lined up against us, and Suzumiya's gonna be gunning for me too. I'm screwed.
早瀬注意。白金が何か文句があるそうです。
Huh?
俺の方があんたより戦術機の操縦はうまいから、そんなのは楽勝だと言っていました。
What?
なんですって？
Gah! What the hell? I never said that. What's this chick's problem? What are you talking about, Lieutenant Munakata?
お前ならやれる。期待しているぞ。
That's... What the hell is she going on about?
わかったわ。そこまで言うなら単独石膏の上風間を仕留めなさい。いいわね。
Huh?
できなかったら食事3回抜くわよ。
Lieutenant Kazuma's almost definitely gonna be at the heart of their formation. How the hell am I supposed to take her out and be the only recon unit? That's flat out impossible.
白金、早く返事した方がいい。
宗像注意がまた何か言いたそうな顔してるよ。
Huh? No, I can't let her say anymore. Synthetic or no, food is one of the only pleasures I've got left in this world. Very well. I, Second Lieutenant Shirogane, will conduct recon duty solo and also neutralize Lieutenant Kazuma.
おお、でかく出たな。そんなに腕に自信があるのか。
Shut up! This is all your fault. Ah.
どうした？ため息などついて。
Well, I couldn't take Lieutenant Kazuma down. I was kind of looking forward to eating.
惜しかったよね。風間醤油を追い詰めるところまでは行ってたんだからさ。
結局、風巻がおとりだったね。
まさかブラストガードを最前面に出してくるなんて思わなかったよ。
And we fell for it hook, line, and sinker.
接敵するや即交代して誘い込み、左右からの狙撃で足止めしている間に交代した風巻が面制圧を行う。
みんなよくあの波状攻撃で生き残ったね。離れて見てた僕が生きた心地しなかったからね。
市街戦だから遮蔽物も多い。ミサイルはこっちをあぶり出すための威嚇だから。
Exactly. If we got distracted trying to dodge around those, they would have shot us full of holes in an instant.
でも鈴宮機と柏木機を撃墜したし、こっちは損害なしだから早瀬注意も多めに見てくれるんじゃないかな。
それは無理。
え、そうかな。
タケルが落としたのは鈴宮機だ。柏木機を落としたのは早瀬注意だ。
Yup, and since we couldn't take out any of the TSFs meant to represent the laser and heavy laser classes, none of that matters.
対レーザー級戦を想定した演習である以上、こたびは私たちの敗北であろうからな。
そうか。じゃあタケルのご飯の運命はこの後の演習評価の時間ではっきりするね。
Please stop. You're only making my stomach grumble even more.
普通であれば、あれは奮起させるための冗談であろうから気にするなと言ってやりたいところなのだが。
Yeah, this is Lieutenant Hayase that we're talking about.
多分本気。
Come on, you guys, knock it off.
じゃあさ、感想を聞かせてよ。
Huh? Thoughts on what?
タケルはさ、シミュレーターも一度しかやってないし、吹雪と白縫いの差をストレートに感じたんじゃない？
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
僕としては207小隊最高の戦術機乗りであるタケルの意見にはとても興味あるんだ。